Hi, my name is Gilberto Orozco Jr. Today we will be going over eschatology, a study of things to come. As an overview, Revelation was written by the Apostle John to seven churches in Asia Minor. Its main purpose was to strengthen the faith of believers facing persecution by assuring them that deliverance was near. The book is a unique blend of prophecy, apocalypse, and letter genres, which means we must understand it as a unified whole rather than separate parts. An apocalypse reveals God's heavenly perspective through symbolic visions. John's original readers, who were familiar with earlier apocalyptic writings, would have understood these symbols as speaking both to their current struggles and future hope. The Blessed Hope and Revelation 1. The church today is called to live holy lives while constantly expecting Christ's return. Jesus is revealed in Revelation with divine authority, not just as a messenger, but as king and high priest. John writes, not as a distant prophet, but as a fellow sufferer and companion in the kingdom. The parable of the 10 virgins reminds us that spiritual preparedness is more important than just having knowledge or doing good deeds. We should stay ready every day for Jesus' return. The tribulation. The seven seals, trumpets, and bowls reveal God's righteous judgment on evil. The rapture, described as being caught up, refers to the saints being taken from the great tribulation. This means believers will be shielded from God's wrath during that time. The seven bowls symbolize God's holy anger against the works of darkness. We are also called to pray for salvation and peace of Israel. The Great Tribulation first fits between two phases of Christ's coming, and understanding this helps us grasp the timing of these events. The Final Judgment. Jesus prophesied the end times to confirm he is the Son of God. The seals, trumpets, and bowls offer different perspectives on God's judgment throughout history and at the end of the age. An angel is empowered to bind and imprison the dragon, Satan, but not to destroy his spirit. The Antichrist is understood as a spirit opposing Christ. Babylon in Revelation symbolizes the worldly powers that oppress God's people. The sounding of the seventh trumpet releases the bowls of God's wrath. The seals began opening when Jesus first came, signaling that God's judgment is already underway. The new heavens and the new earth. Revelation 20 introduces the millennium, which has different interpretations: premillennialism, postmillennialism, and amillennialism. The New Jerusalem is described as an inclusive city for both Jews and Gentiles, but nothing impure may enter. Importantly, the Bible teaches that the ultimate goal is not just heaven, but a renewed earth where God will dwell with his people forever. Garden and temple imagery are combined in this vision, showing that God's presence will flow throughout the new creation. The tribulation and millennium debates. The historic Protestant view sees Revelation as a prophetic record from the time of the apostles to the end of the world. Jesus taught his followers to be watchful and ready because his return will be sudden. There are differing beliefs about whether the church will escape the tribulation or endure it with God's protection. The day of the Lord begins with rebellion and the revelation of the Antichrist. The four horsemen represent real trials believers face, reminding us to live with peace, generosity, and hospitality. Ultimately, the timing of the rapture matters less than how faithfully we live now. Is hell forever? The punishment thesis teaches that hell is a place of just punishment for sin. The Assemblies of God believe in a final judgment where the wicked are judged according to their deeds. The lake of fire, however, was originally intended for the devil and his angels, which shows God's mercy toward humanity. Death enters the world through sin and is considered an enemy, but God's love is most clearly seen in creation and redemption. Jesus took on our punishment, offering us grace and eternal life. This truth calls us to live with gratitude and humility. Pastors' practical tips. As Christians, we are future-oriented people who look forward to a new heaven and new earth. Revival is not about dramatic physical reactions, but about the Spirit working deeply in people's hearts. We are called to be faithful in our local churches, not to compare or get distracted by outward signs. The Assemblies of God hold a hopeful view of Christ's return, known as the blessed hope. When we experience God's presence, He immediately gives us a mission to fulfill. Prophecy builds up the church, but is not always an official office. Our mission is clear. Empowered by the Spirit, we are to witness from Jerusalem to the ends of the earth. In summary, eschatology, or the study of the end times, teaches us hope, faithfulness, and confidence in God's ultimate plan through Jesus. Revelation calls us to live holy and watchful lives, ready for Christ's return at any moment. While interpretations of the end times vary, the certainty of God's sovereignty, justice, and promise of eternal life remains firm. This truth shapes how we live daily, inspiring courage, love, and steadfast trust in God's fulfilled promises.